I don't have any right links in here, right? Yeah, Diablo, you're exactly right. The WASM draft isn't non-draft yet. Yeah, it's still draft. WebAssembly is still updating quite a bit. It's taking forever. But like that, it's ironic. The web moves extremely fast and extremely slowly at the same exact time. I wonder if this is it. Oh, create. Okay, there it is. The top one. Routes, create account. Okay, so I want. So when I go to create account, that actually takes me to the other thing. So I probably want to update the nav bar, which is in YCL. Yeah, because I'm taking this as a route T, like a type. But if I take this as a string, yeah, all code bases need to be 100% compatible with the crappy browsers. Yeah, it's kind of funny how it goes back and forth between Safari and Chrome right now as the crappy browsers. Yeah, and they're not compatible yet. We don't want to turn that on because, first of all, I would have to then say, hey, if you want to buy my course and take it, you have to now turn on these experimental features, and that probably won't work on your mobile, which I know a lot of people want to use on mobile. So that's a problem. The end goal of WASM is that you won't ship JS anymore. Even if you use JS, you compile it first and send that. So no more browser side parsing and compiling. Yeah, that's a really big thing. Plus, there is going to be potentially a little bit more security that comes with WebAssembly in like a binary format. They might be able to do a little bit more sandboxing and a little bit more something like that, which will be nice. Okay, so I want to see where the create account route. There it is. Nope. Right, so I do this as an actual link, like a internal link. And what I really want to do is do an ahref. So if I want to change that, then we change this to an A. We don't need the generic anymore. This gets changed to an href. Have you be a nav link, and then you go to login, and then I don't need this anymore. You become just an A. We have to do the same thing to you. Danny, hello. How are you doing today? You don't really understand what's the point of JS as it relates to WASM, as in what's the barrier of using WASM directly for the browser? Right now, the barrier is that WASM is incomplete. It's still technically sort of like a beta like technology, but a lot of browsers have implemented it in the exact same way. So we can use WASM as it is right now based upon the standard that was created. Essentially, what's the point of compiling JS in order for it to be in browser? Oh, yeah. Okay. So the point is that it's shockingly faster in WASM than in JavaScript. Because if it's pre-compiled, it's also been pre-optimized. And right now, when you're running JavaScript, there are multiple compilations that happen. So it compiles just in time JavaScript to sort of like figure out what things are going and like, you know, the scopes and everything else. And then it does another compilation to optimize it. And then it might do a third compilation depending upon which JavaScript runtime you're using. I don't remember what they all are. But then that runs the thing. WebAssembly would basically mean all of those are gone. It's already pre-optimized because that happened at the compile phase. It just runs. So that should make it significantly faster, even if nothing else changes. Diablo, the big thing for you is simple, actual integer value types. I mean, come on, who doesn't want to just use floats for everything? What's the problem with floats for everything? Nobody ever had any problems happen with just floats. Okay, so you need to be strings now. Did you know it's technically illegal to ever represent a monetary value as a float? I am not surprised because as a float, it won't, you get all those like weird thing. Yeah, we count in cents. Every company I've ever worked with that does any kind of money stuff counts in cents. And I remember when I was teaching and students wanted to do something that used money, I would always have to tell them use pennies, use cents, use like the smallest value of whatever currency that you're working with. That way you don't have any decimals whatsoever. And they the students would always like be very confused. Okay, so my login route is now going to be, and I should change this, shouldn't I? Like we should just make this a login URI, and you're going to be a attribute value. This is gonna make so many errors. Okay, so first off, you became a login URI. Okay, so you're okay in this file, and now we have a bunch of other files. What do people mean by Rust is the future of web dev? Is it just implementing WASM directly in a browser? I believe that people who say that Rust is the future of web dev are saying two things. First, they're saying WASM is the future in web development. And the second thing that they're trying to say is that Rust is the best way to do WASM in the browser. Now, I don't know if I 100% agree with like calling Rust the best way to do WASM in the browser. It's certainly good. It's certainly fast. Is the best? Time will tell. I don't like, just like you could say there is no best language to use unless you're trying to, you know, cause a flame war somewhere. The big thing though is that you're going to be able to use whatever language you like and compile it into WASM and run it there. So the best language ends up being whatever you're good at. A lot of shops and banks either send HTML that, excuse me, that just says the value, thus no JS, or if there is JS involved, they either force it to be a string one way or the other and send two numbers that have no decimal component. Oh yeah, I've also seen that too. But if I send JSON that says $, yeah, technically illegal, which makes sense. Does that mean the end goal is to replace JavaScript if all browsers support and have the same standard API? I don't think that it's really to replace JavaScript, although I joke around that like a good number of people that are waiting for me to build like Axum and Yew courses and like sell those are people who hate JavaScript and want it gone. And in that way, to them, yes, it allows JavaScript to be replaced. If you're a JavaScript developer, no, it doesn't replace it. You can now use JavaScript to compile into WebAssembly and most likely TypeScript. However, there is some rumors that JavaScript may get some types from TypeScript in the medium future. Yeah, 0.1 seconds means nothing to us. It's huge to them because their servers have to support that. And it saves them a lot of money. You may have been listening to bias sources. What would happen if JS is not needed for WASM's interaction with the browser? Would it be faster, safer, or what? I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see. I would guess that it's going to be, well, faster, definitely. Safer, we're going to see. Like every time that you do anything major, there's always going to be vulnerabilities. Maybe there's going to be better vulnerabilities, like as in they're not quite as bad as what we have right now. Or maybe it's still going to be exactly the same problem, because most of the vulnerabilities that I'm aware of in the browsers are not actually at the JavaScript to the browser level, but at the browser to the operating system level, because they open up APIs into your operating system to sort of see what you're doing. And that's where a lot of the security stuff is going to be. They will move to 100% WASM when Chrome can do it, I can guarantee. Before, they implement a version of WASM on their own and try to put that into Chrome instead of other WASM and name it Dart WASM. DASM. Darsm? Like Quick came before HTTP 3. Well, in that case, yeah, exactly. I think Quick is only available in Chrome, right? Yeah, they really wanted it. Dwarfism. Yeah, something like that. Exactly. And like, for example, Microsoft allows on Edge that you can start, or at least it used to. Is it still true? You could do like your system updates through the browser, or at least it was previously in Windows in Explorer, which like that is a huge security that's not a vulnerability, it's a attack vector right there. Oh, okay, so Quick is now replaced by official aid. I want to take a look at that, because I remember thinking like I want to do some gaming type stuff, but I wanted UDP, and it's like, ooh, we have to wait for Quick. But if we have it now, that'll be good. Okay, so these are all my prototypes. So if I want to just go somewhere, I can't go to like route home or something like that. However, you know what I can do? Oh, right, these are just taking me home. So what if I have like a pub static home route? Can I just go to, will that work? I'm actually kind of curious. Yeah, home route. Oh, right, because there's no route. It's URI. And then no variant. Oh, right, it's router, I think. Hold on. Create prototypes. Okay, this is where it is. There. Okay, so now we can use home route there. There we go. That makes you happier. Now bar route. Because I accidentally brought in route. Oh, why did I do route? Okay, that's weird. That's what I wanted. I did colon route and I wanted comma. Okay, that causes problems, obviously. HTTP 3 is literally pretty much quick, allows both the TCP port to allow upgrade to HTTP 3 and switching to UDP on the same port, but also can detect HTTP 3 ahead of time. With a proper DNS server record, Firefox and Safari can do the DNS record, Chrome can with a hidden flag enabled. Ooh, nice. So I should add in, because the entire point of Quick was to play around with multiplayer in web dev. So I want to revisit that. So experiment with HTTP 3 and web multiplayer. I've never done anything multiplayer for game dev. I've done like a bunch of little small games here and there, but never anything truly multiplayer. And it would be fun to set that up. Okay, so I think this is login route URI. And you're the home route. No field. Oh, it's just login URI. Okay. Okay, there's our home route. No more errors. Okay, so if I come back to you, here's our YCL. I want to go to, I don't have a way to go home. That's cool. I designed this really well. So navigations. No, okay. So it's not nav. Oh, it's site header. Okay. So now, yeah, these are now, oh yeah, that works. Okay. Okay, cool. I haven't looked. Is HTTP 3 available in Axum? Which is the real question is is it available in Tower HTTP? Is it available in Tower V1? Because if it is, then it's, I want to say available in the latest Axum now then. But I haven't looked at all. It would be really nice if it was, because then we can use Axum for a game server, and then literally anything for a front-end game. Okay, so that works there. Let's head back to you. So this is gonna be create account URI, and this now needs to be, we need to grab this from environment variables now. Oh no, this is login URI. Okay, so create account URI goes in there. Login route becomes login URI, login URI. Okay, and then if nothing else changes, why are you upset? No field, create account URI. Create account URI, login URI. This is BB navbar. Yeah, BB navbar, okay. I saved you, right? Why aren't you, okay, let's try, restarting the LSP first. Alt SVC can also be used to negotiate as 1.1, but then upgrade to 2.0 without reconnecting. You couldn't find any tower support for 3.0 or Quick, but there is Quinn.rs. Ooh, okay, so I'll take a look at. Oh, and Cloudflare themselves wrote a Quick. Oh, interesting. Nice. That does make sense for them to need it. Ooh, okay. So I think you're working now. So if we reload over here and I want to go, this is localhost. So if I hit refresh, there it is. Okay. Really ugly. However, they're both links, and so I'm curious if I go to get started. Cool, that is the wrong URL. You have made some progress with your yew storybook clone. Where would you suggest to share it for some constructive criticism? There is a yew Discord for if it's like more than just like me or my community. The yew Discord is probably the best place to go. So if you go to getting started with yew, if you go to community, don't they have like okay, I don't know why they do, but in each of their deployments, they talk about they have a Discord, which then they don't link to. Why you do this? Community support. We have our own Discord and Matrix, so probably one of those two places. Why did they not make it easy? Here it is. Okay, so if you go to yew.rs, I mean, if you share it and you say, hey, this is a very early in progress work. I just want some early feedback. It's very crude. It's incomplete. These are what it is. That's one place. And then my Discord is another place that you could ask for. That being said, yeah, I'm happy to take a look at it. Do you have like a deployed version where it's like looking at just some sample stuff, or is it something I need to set up myself here? Or is it like local host only right now? No, I want to go to login. Okay, so that's login. And if I go to no, that doesn't work. Okay. So where's my thing where I can do create an account? Can you link to your GitHub the project it needs to be locally initialized and generated? You don't have to do that. Looking at the repo is fine too. Yeah, absolutely. Linking GitHub should be fine. We haven't really done too many links in YouTube yet, so I have no idea how that works. Ooh, there's a new. No JavaScript required. That looks good. I think I'm on classic, so where do I find this? This is in applications. So I'm on the other monitor. I'm on Auth0, like logged in now. So we have application, LMS. Oh, okay. I need to update the application logo. That's a different thing. Premium Music, hello. How are you doing today? And thank you. All right, Premium, let's not spam in chat. Otherwise, I'll have to time you out. But thank you for that. It's an awesome message. Okay. Where do I set what type of login that is? Okay, yeah, I never saw it at all. So I don't know how to tell YouTube to like do that. So unfortunately, I think the best place to share it then would be in Discord. I have a link to my Discord somewhere on the page in YouTube. Hopefully it should be pretty easy to find. I think it's user management. Authentication. No, I don't think that's it. Settings. Okay, so in the dashboard, go to branding. Branding universal login. Okay, so I need to find where my logo is. I have it somewhere. And then throw that in there, which I don't have right now. Primary color, that's probably fine for right now. Page background is black. That's okay. Advanced options. Awesome. I'm glad that they've been helpful. Ooh, okay. So I have the new experience. Okay, so we have new. Ved, hello. How are you doing today? Is you used for the front end? Yes. Yew is equivalent to React in the JavaScript web development world. So it's it's pretty much only front end. Although there is the possibility, just like React, to do server-side rendering too. That's still like, I would consider Yew front end. Okay, this is fine. Where do I get the link to it now? So I claim I'm using the new universal login. Oh, so okay, if I just go to my domain /login, oh, that will be a lot easier. So I think what they're saying is that if I go to this, login, no, that does not work. Okay, so register your application with Auth0, that is done. Configure your application to call the Auth0 authentication IPA login endpoint. Oh, right, to get to /authorize. Okay, fine. I'll manually write it in. So I want to go to /authorize. Oh, then we need all this stuff. Okay, so maybe what I want to do is just have a login only and not have a create account, because then you can create the account there. So what if I keep what we have right here, can I not have the create account URI? We have login URI. Cool. There is definitely a login URI on here. Oh, create account URI is required. So I probably want to switch this to proper default. So that way it will be nothing. Or I just completely remove it. What if I remove this? So we just have login URI. Okay, so more errors incoming. So how is HTML turned into Rust code? Like, how does it work? Is it a transpiler? Not exactly. It's not transpiling into HTML and JavaScript. It's instead compiling into WebAssembly. And you can see here, it's because it works very similar to React, we create components, since these are function components, which is very similar to the function components you can get in React. And we use the HTML macro to be able to just write HTML in here, and then I can access any Rust code with a single handlebar, essentially. all of this together gets compiled into the WebAssembly binary, which then gets shipped to the front end. And then there's some glue code in the form of JavaScript that you wrote that then sort of uses that together to then run on the website. So that means we're just going to have this login or create account link, which then takes me back there, but that's fine. And so I need to fix you now. So we're going to have login URI is the only one. So if I hit save again, that's not updated yet. I don't have a create account. We just have the login URI. That's fine. So we're going to actually make a code change. There we go. Okay, so now we have login or create account. We click this. And that is not going, oh. Weird. Okay. And this is the new site. I guess this is what we were using before. And so now we can sign up here or log in. So there we go. That's good. That being said, I'm curious why that didn't work. Let me try logging in. Oh, I know why it doesn't work. It's very, it's not happy because I've set the redirect URLs to be going to the wrong place. They're going to production, which is not great. Awesome. Okay, so you just started with React. Excellent. Yeah. So if you learn React, it's really not that much harder to then learn Yew. I've actually noticed that the people who are having the most trouble with Yew are the people who haven't done any web development whatsoever, or at least no modern component-based web development like with React. But people who have React, all the problem that they're running into is Rust-based, like, okay, the borrow checker, things like that. Okay, fine. I'm going to create 2 env files. I'm going to move this .env to prod. There's their auth0 domain. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, redirect. Go to that. Okay, we have you, and then we don't need to create account URI anymore. Okay, and I need to go to my git ignore and make sure that .env prod is in there. Okay, and neither the .envs are now visible, so they should not be visible for me in Helix on the main screen either. Okay, so that being said and done, if I write you, Discord, okay, don't update right now. And of course, it's still going to main one. So it hasn't read the new environment variables. So we got to do this fun thing again. Now, is this just going to work? We've had so much trouble today with environment variables. No, of course not. I don't really understand what causes the environment variables to reload as opposed to use some cached thing somewhere. I did update the .env, right? Yeah, the .env is now localhost. So let's try a okay, trunk clean didn't do it. Oh, Zilby's repositioning. Okay. That didn't do it. What ends up happening is that when I start adding something like this, where I'm like, this sometimes does it. That didn't do it. Sometimes I need to actually use it. I'm getting cross origin errors. From gstatic, the Google logo for YouTube. Okay, so I'm not getting the... This is a console log. I don't think it's mine though, right? Oh, here. Okay, so the course length. Yeah, I don't need you anymore. Did it work? I also have all this debug, which is kind of not great. Let's try export Rust backtrace. Oh, I have don't Rust environment. Like if I do production, let's say. Nope, that didn't do it. That didn't remove. Oh, okay, it didn't rebuild the code. It's using the old one because that log was gone. Right? Like I saved this. I saved you and you didn't update. I'm in the LMS. I'm in the LMS. Okay. Why? Okay, trunk. Configuration. I don't see anything about debug stuff, so that just must be what they do now. Oh, isn't there? Oh, let's do rest log equals none. There we go. That's what it did it. Okay. Everton, hello. So I'm a little confused. What are the benefits of building an app in Yew and not in Next, for example? Oh yeah, no, totally fine. So right now, there's not like a tremendous number of like reasons to do something in Yew as opposed to Next, and you're probably gonna get Next because it's more released than Yew. Yew is still in a pre-release state. It's version 0.21 right now. So right off the bat, it's a little bit tough to like recommend Yew for production. And by that I mean like at a business that's making money outside of trying to sell courses for, you know, that do stuff with Rust. I'm, however, in that trying to sell courses that do stuff with Rust, right? Like I'm, one of my big things is, oh, I build with Yew, I build with other things. I do web dev in Rust, and I can sell you courses and like how to do web dev in Rust too. So for personal projects, I think Yew is great. I think it's a great choice if you want to use Rust. It's going to run super fast on the front end. Compiling is going to be a pain because compiling is a double hit of trunk with, I guess like, I shouldn't blame trunk for that. It's Yew is pretty slow for compiling, and then you have the normal tax that you have to pay with Rust compilers too. There is a server-side rendering though. Yes, so it is very possible to do server-side rendering with Yew in Rust. Absolutely. And people do it. I haven't done it myself yet. I've sort of been waiting for it's like more finalized. It feels like they've only really now started to pay attention to it a lot, like server-side rendering, that is. So it's getting some love right now in each update. And I can't, like, I'm not sure how much I want to like work on that and then have to replace it over, replace it every time they update, which is sort of how I'm feeling about Axum right now. They're doing a lot of updates as well. Batman, hello. What's my color scheme called? My color scheme. So in the terminal, I don't know if I have a color scheme in here. I use dark. That I don't think that's not really a color scheme. Oh, okay. I'm using default. I'm using whatever the default color scheme is for Alacrity, and I have no idea what that is. Okay, is WASM ready for production? You're worried about cross-browser issues. Yes, so in my testing so far, the LMS works on mobile Safari, mobile Chrome. Well, it works, as far as I can tell, it works on Android browsers, that'd be Chrome. It works on Safari on iOS, which I'm able to test. It works on Safari and Chrome-based browsers on desktop and Firefox-based browsers. So as far as I can tell, all of those things are working fine. So yeah, I believe that WASM is ready for production as it is right now. That being said, the reason why you might not want to use WASM is because it's very feature incomplete. As in, there's still a lot of things that WASM needs to be able to do stuff on its own. Like, for example, it can't really do DOM manipulation purely from within WASM. It does DOM manipulation by having DOM manipulation code in a JavaScript file that then WASM calls into and basically executes from inside of it. So, and that being said, it's still really fast. It's shockingly fast. Yew is probably the slowest of the front-end frameworks in Rust, and it's basically as fast as the fastest non-WebAssembly frameworks that you can choose from. So you don't really lose anything. You basically gain the speed and then the niceness of doing something React-like in Rust. Oh, what's the Helix one? Yeah, let's take a look at that. Oh no, I can't see my theme that way. I have to go. White to dark. So that is my theme Diablo. No, sorry. That's my theme Batman. Okay. Why do you do this? So I don't know what happened because everything was fine. Everything was working fine until like in the middle of us deploying things last week on Tuesday, everything just sort of stopped working environment variable wise, which is really weird. And I don't really understand it at all because environment variables in Rust have been great so far. Batman, thank you so much for the subscription, the Prime subscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I mean, that was a pretty cheap transaction on my side, so I'm very happy to exchange that. Okay, so I've updated the .env file. It's all localhost stuff. Do I need to like change this and like add in? Okay, I changed the environment variable more. Let's go back to app. Here I'm grabbing test and I'm using test. Tell trunk to serve it.